Jumper, commence countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, ToyCast with your hosts, TFG1 Mike, Optibotimus, and Matt Spada.
Oh, well, scare him away. But don't scare him too much.
Don't scare the sick kitty. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Well, no. It's the kitty is sitting there almost in a guarding position over her little kitty food, and our big 200-pound cat, 220-pound cat, whatever, same difference, just was like 2 inches away from the food, and the little kitty was like, back off my Kool-Aid, yo.
But Louie won't do anything to her.
It was cute. Well, he was hissing at her yesterday.
No, I know, but that's just as a I don't know. Think about how many cats
I know. That's horrible. Well, my dad always used to tell me, before I even knew anything, he's like, that song is really dirty. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It is really dirty.
I know. I'm like, what are you talking about, Dad? He's like, wait till you're old enough and you can read the lyrics. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I forgot
there are lyrics? I always thought that song didn't have lyrics.
Oh, no, there's lyrics. There's lyrics.
Oh.
It's pretty messed up. But, so, during that little brief intermission, Lee, don't be a smartass. It's not nice.
I'm not being a smartass.
I know you're not. That's the funny thing.
Oh, boy. So, are we ready to get this thing underway now?
Yes, please.
That's 3 minutes and 40 seconds of gold right there.
Oh, you've been recording this, you ass.
Yup. Hello, and welcome to the...
Oh, there you go.
Oh, fuck.
Here's some gold for you, sir.
You asshat.
You didn't warn me. You're usually like, okay, I'm gonna do 5 seconds of silence, and then
the recorder is working. Damn it! I'm lucky if it's working. So just fucking go with it.
Bear with you. Okay. All right.
Or whatever you. What do you want, dude?
Just call me Bolt Matrix.
Okay.
I like Bolt Matrix, a.k.a. Spada.
Okay.
I prefer that. I think I have branding issues.
Talk about filing for copyright.
Yeah, no kidding.
I need to brand myself better.
Please
don't tell me that was recorded.
Oh, it is.
Oh, mother.
What I was going to say was is there a cattle prod involved with that?
Zap.
All right.
That is going in the intro, I can tell.
Yeah,
I have branding issues.
Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun going through this audio.
Mother trucker.
Hello and welcome to episode 74.5 of ToyCast. I am your host, TFG1 Mike, and joining me is Optibotimus. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
And Bolt Matrix, a.k.a. Spada. Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Ow! I'm being scratched by the sharpest little tiny nails in the universe. That thinks that for those of you that don't know, and there's no reason why they should. Yesterday I got what we can only guess is about a 4-week-old kitten, and she's decided now that she wants to
eat you.
Well, no. Well, maybe. she's imprinted me as her mother, it seems, and according to my girlfriend, anyhow, and the cat needs to be around me at all times, and she has learned how to crawl up using only her nails onto our sofa. And in doing so, she also likes crawling across my legs, doing the exact same thing. But she doesn't realize that skin doesn't really give as well as couch. Fabric.
Right now, she doesn't have.
Ow! Oh, it hurts! It hurts! Okay. Now, she just decided to do it to my back. Okay. All right.
Now she has no dexterity.
This is going to be the best podcast episode ever.
Oh, God. And the voice that you hear screaming in the background, making fun of me and laughing at me, is my fiance. So, anyhow, who's in there making me dinner? But yeah, all right. We'll continue on. If there's a random grunt or groan or scream of pain, just ignore it. Ow! Like that. That's my foot!
You normally do.
Oh!
So, Armada Hotshot.
No. We're not even up to that. You know, you can't. You have no right to jump straight to that. That is. We're not even up to that yet. What have you been up to, Spada?
Oh dear. Fighting YouTube to keep my Colossus video up because I had 30 seconds of a Stan Bush song in there.
A way around that is usually and I probably shouldn't
say what? I don't know what you said. Anyway, so
what?
Today at work, I was in our other building, and I went back to where my desk is, and there were some nice boxes waiting for me from BBTS.
Yay,
so
boxes!
I now have Battle Blades Bumblebee, Hunt for the Decepticons, Battle Blade Bumblebee, Tomahawk, and Terradive, and Generations Red Alert and Soundwave. And
all
every
figures that I want.
Every single one of those figures has the same problem. The ball joints on the tops of their legs are too loose. So they have trouble standing up. That's 5 different figures with the exact same issue. And it's the left leg on every one of those figures that has the issue. The right leg is normally okay. The left leg is just entirely too loose. So I'm going to have to take some nail polish remover or something to it.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. A few episodes back, we had discussed the whole quality control thing and problem that has become apparently rampant. And you mentioned these figures that you have right here. Another friend of mine got Generations Red Alert. And for some reason, and I don't know, does that thing come? Was it? I don't. Wait a minute.
It comes slightly broken.
That's what my friend was kind of hinting at. I was trying to remember, and that
the roof on the vehicle. Well, the roof on the vehicle, as soon as I took it out of the box, fell off. It's not actually attached. I had to reattach it manually, and 2. There seems to be some tooling errors which prevents you from actually closing up the front of the car all the way flush against the doors. So the tabs are sticking out.
Yeah. So you've got the exact same problem that he has on this figure. And that's amazing to me. It's amazing to me.
And it's really, really weird. I mean, it's let me tell you, out of the 3 Lamborghinis, the Sideswipe, Sunstreaker Sideswipe, and Red Alert, I actually like the Red Alert the best. I think the paint scheme on this figure is by far the best.
Interesting. I still haven't gotten it. Of all the figures that you just mentioned, the only one that I have is the Battle Blade Bumblebee. And
that thing is crazy. And actually, the hip problem, or the ball joint problem for the upper legs is the worst on that figure.
Wow.
Because if I actually if I stand him up straight and I put his right arm with the axe deployed, the ball joint actually kind of collapses.
Oh my god.
Or if I just breathe on it, he'll just fall over backwards because he's so top heavy.
Well, my from the hunt from so we were talking about the issues, and it wasn't. I mean, I've been fairly lucky throughout my collecting, and the worst one. And I've never had this happen, but my Battle Blades Optimus Prime came with 2 left fists.
I remember seeing that,
and I was looking at that, and I'm like, and I didn't notice it at first until I was trying to transform him, and you have to fold. You have to lift the little flap on his forearm, and then you have to fold his arm back, and then you have to fold the flap back. And I'm like, why is this flap not closing all the way when I'm trying? And then I looked at it, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, maybe I could just reverse it. And I'm like, I could do that, but then that would probably look even more retarded. And the biggest problem was my friend found that for me all the way up in San Jose, and he mailed it to me because I haven't found it in stores down here in Orange County at all. So it's not like I can even return it to a store and swap it out and get a new one. So, I mean, yeah, quality control on these things it's getting ridiculous. And if you got, what did you say, 7 figures?
5.
5 figures, and all of them except for one is butt?
Nope, all of them.
All of them are butt. Okay, well, you got a lot of butt right there. That's just amazing to me.
How bad is
Butt Emporium?
How bad is Soundwave?
He's not bad.
No, I mean, as far as, you said the ball joints and stuff. I mean, how...
It's better than the others.
Okay.
Out of all of them, he's probably the least worst. I mean, he could stand because thankfully he's got nice wide feet.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've got him in my hands right now, and it's palatable.
Okay.
Yay for palatability.
I'm sorry to say, I think this figure is probably the weakest of the Generations figures. It's by no means bad, but it's Soundwave. It's boring.
It's boring?
It's boring.
Oh, that does not bode well.
See, my problem with Soundwave over the last few years, and I think it's just me...
It might be just you.
Shut up, Paul. I think it's just me being the 80s kid that I am, that I'm so hooked on, Soundwave must be cassette deck. But every toy, animated, this Generations one, Soundwave's recently, as of late, I only have to buy one because they come in robot mode. I don't, well, this one comes in robot mode. I don't, it's a toy that I want, and I'll eventually find him at some point. I don't know when, I don't really care when. It's not like it's the most, top of my list right now. But originally I was going to get 2 of him, one for robot mode and one for vehicle mode. And I don't like the vehicle mode at all.
The vehicle mode's pretty weak.
Yeah, it is.
I have to admit that. I'm not too thrilled with the vehicle mode.
Well, is it just because it's some kind of weird Cybertronian
truck
vehicle?
Yeah.
Truck?
Yep.
Hmm.
It's not that it's a wheeled vehicle that bothers me.
A wheeled vehicle? What is it wielding?
Yeah. Well, in the game, he hovered, so yeah.
Well, he could hover, or it's not that he's like a little car or something. It just doesn't feel like this would be a Soundwave figure, if that makes any sense. It just doesn't feel like Soundwave. There's something missing. Like the Dark Mount figure, oh god, that feels like Straxus. Prime, Bumblebee, I mean, all of Megatron, yeah, he's a kind of a floating brick, but it feels like Megatron. Soundwave just feels the toy doesn't give you an adequate feeling of what Soundwave should be.
The alt mode doesn't, I think. The
No, the robot mode doesn't either. The robot mode is really skinny and feels weak.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't have that, I hate to say musculature, but that frame that Soundwave has always had.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen reviews of him, and he looks okay. I will agree that he looks skinnier than what the photoshopped images we first saw were. Mm-hmm. But again, that's Photoshop. You know, I mean.
I think my other thing is the front of the vehicle mode reminds me of a lawnmower for some reason.
Yeah.
Or like one of those,
yeah.
like one of those things, if you ever go to a golf course and you see those carts going back and forth picking up golf balls.
I just had a horrible thought. If you put his little pitchfork thing out in the vehicle mode so it's facing forward, it could be a forklift of randomness.
No, it's too small. It's much too small. A very poorly endowed forklift?
There you go. All right, so the discussion topic tonight will be I saw a video done by Night/2020 on YouTube, and it's some reply to some other video which I never even saw the original video, but basically the video was, does the world really need Optimus Prime? And in the video, Mike was talking about how, all the cartoons and all the comics and all the movies and games and everything else, the main Autobot leader is Optimus Prime, and do we really need him in Transformers, as far as that goes? And I'm all good for change if they want, but down the line once you start a series, but I think, especially cartoon series, everybody remembers Optimus Prime. Not just the G1 incarnation, as bad as it was, Armada, Energon, and Cybertron, animated and all that stuff, and Primal and Beast Wars. If you want to change it up a season or two down, kill him off in a movie and put Rodimus in or whatever, but I don't think you can have a Transformers series without Optimus or Megatron.
Disagree.
Okay, why?
I would probably have to disagree too.
Okay.
I don't know how good this discussion topic is if we all kind of agree to disagree.
The reason I disagree is because I really don't think you need a hero character and you need a villain, but you don't necessarily need an Optimus Prime.
Okay.
You could look at originally a Robots in Disguise was in Japan. You had Fire Convoy and Gigatron. They weren't and when they came to the US, it was Optimus Prime and Megatron, but it wasn't. They handled this in Japan much better, where, yes, there's a convoy every time, but they're a different character. They're not the same character. A perfect example would be Beast Wars 2nd and Beast Wars Neo. You had Leo Convoy and Big Convoy. Both of those guys were convoys, but two completely different characters. Yeah, they kind of look similar, and I think it was in Beast Wars Neo that you had the Convoy Council, where you had a variety of different Optimus-looking figures. But they're different characters, completely. Like, the Optimus Prime we grew up with was what I would say is everything that was good about 80s America.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had big convoy in Beast Wars Neo, who was the loner, didn't want a team, was a consummate badass. I mean, he kicked ass and took names. Very, very different characters there. Yeah, they look somewhat similar, but the caricatures were much different, and the mannerisms were much different.
Right.
I think, kind of going off what Spada was saying, you don't necessarily need Optimus Prime. You don't necessarily need that particular version, but when you look throughout history, and maybe I'm reading too much into this or whatever, but there are certain characters that are saviors, I suppose. You can look at Superman, Indiana Jones. I mean, these are big-time characters. Now, you could have that same type of a character and not necessarily have to have the particular Optimus Prime. You could have had Rodimus Prime do that exact same thing if he was written a little bit better. But it's to carry on, people say, do we need Optimus Prime? Okay. You need something that's like him. You don't necessarily need him. So, I mean, Transformers, would it be where it is today without Optimus Prime? I don't know. I mean, I doubt it would have gotten. In my opinion, there's no incarnation of Optimus Prime throughout the history that is as heroic and Superman-like, except for the G1 Optimus Prime. The other ones, they had that same kind of feel, and maybe it was just because that character was written more noble than other versions of Optimus Prime, or just maybe kids nowadays don't look at the character as Optimus Prime as being that same type of hero, I suppose. But I think if you killed off Optimus Prime, it's funny because I was thinking about this, and if Optimus Prime was gone, and if we had a show that came out in 5 years that had Transformers but had no Optimus Prime in it at all, and kids saw it for the first time, they wouldn't know any different if there was Optimus Prime or not. They wouldn't know until they started looking back, into the history of Transformers. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think we need him, but we need a character that is going to be like him.
Okay, then, all right. Let me say this: the main thing I think of, one of the reasons why Hasbro will always use Optimus Prime specifically as the main Autobot leader, is because he is so recognizable. I mean, I think we can all agree with that, as far as him being so recognizable.
He's iconic. He's
exactly.
Iconic. I agree with that entirely.
Exactly. And, Night/2020 in his video said, they tried the whole changing the leader thing in G1 with Rodimus, and Night/ said that no one really liked that. Well, I disagreed with him on that because I love Hot Rod / Rodimus Prime. I thought it was really cool. Yes, I bawled my eyes out when Optimus died, but still,
See, I didn't. I mean, I liked the whole. I preferred Hot Rod to Rodimus. The biggest. I didn't particularly like the episodes, and there weren't very many. So I mean, it's not like it was a huge thing, but he just came off as a whiny, I'm not good enough type of a tool that aggravated me whenever he would sit there. And I could understand where they were trying to say, well, Rodimus has to fill these shoes and everything, but
well, he didn't really have time to. That's the thing. He, Optimus got himself killed, technically because of Hot Rod. So technically, Hot Rod is the
people say that.
What?
Why do you? I don't.
Dude,
I mean,
dude,
he did not. He ran out there. Optimus. He could have blasted Megatron. He chose not to because
Hot Rod's dumbass ran out there.
So?
And the whole thing about that whole scene, I've gone back and I've screen capped it, and I've analyzed that whole scene. I've got a screen cap where Megatron actually forces Hot Rod to watch him shoot Optimus. There is an image that I've screen capped. I'll have to send it to you guys, or I'll put it on Twitter. There's an image screen cap where Megatron pretty much has him in a headlock, and he's looking right at Optimus.
I know exactly which scene you're talking
about.
I
know the scene you're talking about, too, but I don't think...
My big issue with Hot Rod becoming Rodimus Prime is, to be honest, he really didn't earn it.
No, he didn't. I completely agree with that. I would have preferred to have seen it to stick with Ultra Magnus.
And just at the end, the end of Transformers the movie felt rushed. It just did. And I mean, I'm not stupid. I know that they did that for new toys.
Right.
But I would have liked to have seen a little bit more character growth in Rodimus, as opposed to the whole season being, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, you're back now. Here's your sparkly thing.
Right. Yeah.
And we really didn't get any real character development. All we got was, I'm not good enough. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, now I'm a pepper.
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper, too?
Yeah.
Okay, that clip has to go in this episode, because I still have that from when I was doing TFG1 podcast.
I think you were reading too much into this. Was drawn. I don't think that the creators intentionally wanted to have Megatron force.
I know, but it was just something I've been reading a lot into the G1 series overall, because I've been going back and watching the Matrix set, and the Autobots aren't as noble as we are led to believe in G1.
They're not. But the one constant was Optimus Prime. And I always thought that he maintained himself just a little bit higher, because it's always a thing where if you don't stop yourself, I mean, they very easily could have, to defeat the Decepticons, could have destroyed Earth. I mean, they really could have if they really wanted to stop them. But it's one of those things where if we stoop down to their level, then we're no longer any better than them. We're, as bad as they are. And Optimus Prime always seemed like the kind of person that would stop it right before it got a little bit too bad. Now, that kind of changed a little bit with the movies. He seemed a whole lot more violent in the movie, in the live-action movies.
Yeah, the live-action films are something completely different.
No, and I agree, but I'll tell you, one of my favorite, I mean, outside of G1 Optimus Prime, one of my favorite Primes is probably the animated Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Here you have a character who is unsure of himself. I mean, this is how Rodimus should have been written in G1, where he's unsure of himself. He has this power thrust upon him, and throughout the animated series, you see Prime develop into this much more capable leader, to the end where he's able to stand toe-to-toe with Megatron and fight this big, giant, scary thing. I mean, that was... And there you have another heroic version of Optimus Prime. My dinner is done. Come to me, dinner. Come to me, dinner.
Battlecat, bring me the dinner.
I definitely agree that animated Prime is one of the better Primes we've gotten in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. And the fact that he was also learning, plus when he first got the Wingblade suit, and he launches the rockets and he just starts flying off and crashing into everything, and he goes, okay, not going to do that again.
Right. It was just really fun. Oh, there's the email. Oh. Squirrel. I just got Mike's email and
so I mean, I don't know. One of the things that I know we'll never get, but I wish we would, and I know the reason why I won't ever get this is because Hasbro wants to cater to kids and make sure everything is,
Homogeneous.
Yeah. I want a BotCon 2008 Shattered Glass cartoon.
Wait, what? Oh, like an actual cartoon?
Based off of the BotCon comic and the BotCon '08 toys. Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, Shattered Glass Rodimus, Megatron, that whole toy set from that year's BotCon. I want a cartoon based on those characters because, yes, I know it's just another alternate universe thing, but I had never seen an alternate universe Transformers thing like that, and I absolutely love that.
That would be very cool. It won't happen.
I know it won't happen.
It absolutely won't happen, but it would be interesting to see. But the biggest problem that I would see with that, and I mean, we have the new series Prime, Transformers Prime coming out. Maybe something could show up in there. You never know. But going all the way back, and when you mention that, it instantly makes me think of. Stop chewing on that wire. Sorry. It instantly makes me think of Star Trek and all the mirror universe episodes that they would constantly do. I would be afraid that they would take that episode and make a farce out of the entire concept.
No, because well, and again, it's my own vision because, like I said, it'll never happen. We've all agreed it'll never get done. My vision is, have you guys read the '08 comic?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know how to read.
Yep.
Thanks for reminding me.
If it doesn't have pictures, he can't read it, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. Continue.
Okay, so Spada's read the '08 comic. Basically, you have, I would guess, G1 or Universe Cliffjumper in an alternate dimension. And
it never really explains how he got there.
No, it doesn't really explain how he got there.
I think it might have to do with something from 2007.
Yeah. It doesn't really explain how he got there, you're right. But, I mean, basically you have a G1 type or a universe type Cliffjumper, like from our universe, over in this mirror universe where the Autobots are evil and maniacal and just sadistic, and the Decepticons are the heroes. Now, I wish that they would, you could play on that with the war. Instead of doing the same episode each episode, you could have an ongoing war, except the factions are just reversed. So you wouldn't actually be repeating the same episode, just have an ongoing war, kind of like what G1 was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it'll never happen, but I think, that was a very different way to see, the two sides of the Transformers, the Autobots and the Decepticons, and I kind of liked it, actually.
Yeah, Megatron is a megamaniacal psychopath. Or, I'm sorry, Optimus as a megamaniacal psychopath.
Yeah, plus he's purple.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah.
It is. It's one of those things where, we've grown up and we've seen the Autobots as the good guys and the Decepticons as the bad guys for so long that it's a nice change to see things like that. And it really reminds me, and I for the life of me I can't understand it, but it's kind of going along with why Nemesis Prime is as popular as I think he is, because people want to see a bad version of Optimus Prime.
Yep.
And I've always thought that was silly, because in my mind, a bad version of Optimus Prime is Megatron. So I don't particularly understand it, but hey, to each his own.
I've never liked Nemesis Prime.
Me neither.
I did see one. I think it was a BotCon comic, though, that described it as his old buddy, what was it, Dueler? When he was Orion Pax, he had a buddy that was orange and blue.
Right.
I can't remember his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. He got
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
super jealous, and actually, like, after he became Optimus Prime, like, his jealousy drove him insane, and he kidnapped Alpha Trion and made him made Alpha Trion turn him into like an alternate version of Optimus to become his nemesis. I think it was what are the things on Allspark every morning? Damn it. Man, my brain is not working on a Friday night.
That's why it's not working.
I know think good.
I'm looking at the TF wiki under Nemesis Prime. There's different ones.
Mosaics. It was one of the Transformers mosaics.
Okay. Well, according to this, in different years, there have been different versions. In 2003, he was the evil clone of Optimus Prime from Armada. In 2004, he was the clone of an alternate universe Optimus Prime from the 2003 Universe franchise. In 2006, he was the evil clone of Optimus Prime in several Generation 1 continuities. In 2007, he was the corrupted Dead Universe version of Nova Prime in the IDW Generation 1 continuity.
Yeesh.
Okay. You know, I want to say, when I was young, I always thought, oh God, what the hell is his name? Oh God, I'm really drawing a blank on everything too.
And I just have to keep the show going, ladies and gentlemen, because I have two
the
brain-dead
Stunticons.
people with me here.
The leader of the Stunticons.
Menasor. Or not a Motormaster.
Motormaster, thank you. I always, every time I looked at that, I'm like, oh, that's like an evil Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
growing
bet
up,
you
I thought that too.
He's the one. In my opinion, he's the one who started this whole Nemesis Prime crap. It's all him. I blame him. I decided.
It's all his fault.
Apparently, so is my cat.
Yes.
So anyhow.
So now Optibotimus has a Battle Cat and a Panther.
Oh.
But this Panther is a whole lot cuter. Ow! Catch my feet.
All right, so we're going to go to
Staying in there.
So, final verdict before we go to a few clips here. Final verdict on does the world need Optimus Prime? Spada?
Yes.
Paul? Optibotimus? Whatever?
Yes, but with stipulations.
And I say yes. So, we'll be back after these little intros or ads or whatever the hell I'm going to put in between these things.
I'm a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
So, Optibotimus, you are going first, sir. What toy are you going to be talking about this evening?
I will be discussing the Matty Collector exclusive 6-inch Egon Spangler figure, which came out last year around this time, actually, and is getting re-released later on this month. Get away, cat.
I don't think Louis would fit in the ghost trap.
Definitely not. Last year we got introduced to a new line from Matty, the folks over at Matty Collector, and it was originally premiered at the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con, in which we got a Egon Spangler figure in the 6-inch, fully articulated, very nice figure. And there goes the cat again. And and it actually created a bit of a small controversy amongst Ghostbuster collectors because it was a slimed version of Egon. And Egon in the first movie, which these figures are initially based off of, they're based off the first movie, he was never really slimed in it. And later on this month, actually on the 15th, which I don't know if this will air before that or not.
It will.
But September 15th is a re-release of the figure, which comes with an unslimed version of Egon. It also comes with a PKE meter and a stack of books, similar to how they're in the library scene, the books would stack. And the funny saying is like, no ordinary person or whatever would stack books in this way. But so the controversy rages between Ghostbuster fans about this whole thing because we never should have gotten a slimed version of him. It's a fantastic figure. I actually really don't mind, though. Like I said, it's fully articulated, so it's got every joint you can possibly think of. It bends, it moves, it's what do you? Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted by a demon cat. But the biggest problem that I do have with the figure is, like I said, it comes out. It's being re-released in 5 days from now. And it's unslimed, and it's the one, and that doesn't even bother me so much as that the original figure never came with a PKE meter, which it really should have.
Right.
And it really kind of aggravates me that now I got to pay another $20 to get a little PKE meter just to kind of complete the look for Egon. So it's another one of those wonderful things in the brain trust of Mattel, where let's re-release it because we gave everybody a slimed version of Egon. Let's give them an unslimed version. And it was just kind of annoying, but I love the figure and I love the Ghostbusters, and it's hard for me to say no. They drag me. They drag me in. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But I love the figure. It's fantastic, and if people missed out initially, which I know a lot of people did, I'm sure they're going to really like the fact that they're re-releasing Egon in an unslimed motif. But for people that already have them, a little bit disappointed. I can say I'm a little bit disappointed, but that's still not going to stop me from being there September 15th.
Yes.
And paying $20 for a half an inch tall PKE meter.
That's just horrible. Now, I've seen reviews of these guys. I've seen your reviews, and I've seen Pia's reviews, and I think a couple other people have reviewed them as well.
Well, Pia has done he's only gotten the 12-inch version.
Right, but the same characters, though.
Right, okay. Gotcha.
These are extremely screen accurate to the films, correct?
As screen accurate of an action figure as you're going to get.
Well, I mean, as far as the faces, they look like the actors that played the characters. It's not some dimpy mold that they're using.
No, it's of the Ghostbusters line. I have all 4 Ghostbusters, and I have the Walter Peck figure that came out. I passed on the last month release, which was a Ray Stantz version in his lab coat, which we saw the Ray Stantz, Egon Spengler, and Pete Venkman. When they first started, if you guys are familiar with the Ghostbuster movie,
Mm-hmm.
when they first started and in the original commercial that they ever did, they were all wearing lab coats and everything, and that's what this is. The lab coat version of Ray Stantz was supposed to be, and I'm like, you know what? I'm really not interested in that. It came with the ghost sniffer that Peter walked around Dana Barrett's room, kind of sniffing the air to find ghosts.
Right.
It came with that, and it came with another ghost accessory, like an actual ghost.
Right.
So I passed on that, but I have all the other ones. All the other, in terms of the Ghostbusters, they're all identical, except the faces are remolded. Obviously, there's different faces, and they are, like I said, as accurate to the actual people as you're probably going to get on an action figure. They're not too terribly accurate. I know the 12-inch versions are much, much better, but in terms of the 6-inch figures, you can look at them and you kind of say, yeah, that kind of looks like, Harold Ramis, or this kind of looks like Bill Murray. And in all honesty, the Peter Venkman or Bill Murray figure, whatever you want to call it, is probably the best one in terms of capturing the likeness of Bill Murray. And that's probably just more to do with the fact that Bill Murray's extremely picky with licensing out his
likeness.
And that was one of the biggest problems I mean, Bill Murray's always been a huge problem with anything going forward with anything Ghostbuster related. But they're very accurate looking. Just the look, the body sculpt of them, the proton pack, everything on it is fantastic looking. I absolutely love the figures. I think they're phenomenal. And later on this year, more are coming out into next year. Later on this Christmas time, they've announced that they're going to release a 4-pack around Christmas time with the actual. There's a scene in Ghostbusters 2 where they're running around in a dark gray jumpsuit, wearing, of all things, a Santa hat.
Yep.
So they're re-releasing a 4-pack of them in the stores, and it will be that set where they're wearing a dark gray. They'll have the Santa hats, and they'll have the Ghostbusters 2 logo on their arm as opposed to the regular Ghostbusters logo. So it's picking up steam. The line seems to be going pretty strong, and it all started with Egon Spangler being inaccurately depicted as being slimed.
You know what I would love to see? I'm not really like, as far as my Mattel purchases these days, I'm having a hard enough time finding reissued He-Man, let alone Ghostbuster figures. So,
well, the Ghostbuster figures, in terms of their
availability,
availability, it lasts a whole lot longer.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's not as big of a seller for Matty Collector as their Master of the Universe things,
Yes.
but the quickest sellout I think was the Peter Venkman figure, and that lasted a whole day.
Yeah. One thing I would love to see is a screen accurate Ghostbusters 2 Ecto 1. Because when I saw Ghostbusters 2 and I saw the card in Ghostbusters 2, I just chuckled and just thought it was so great.
With all the lights,
and the wear back and the little logo with the 2 on it, and
I agree. And that there's been rumbles about them possibly doing an Ecto. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, because one of the biggest problems that they have is that the proton packs do not remove from the figures.
Oh.
So unless they release them again without the proton packs on, which this is Matty Collector. I mean, they very well could release all 4 of them with just wearing their jumpsuits, which, it would kind of annoy me, but it's something that they could possibly do in the future that I would absolutely love to see. And the Ecto 1, it's the Ecto 1A that appeared in Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
The hyped up look on it, like you said, you had the LED, scrolling lights saying we're back, for hire. I mean, all the various things. It was just they had more not tape, but like paint applications on the car itself, where there was like actual warning stickers and stuff all over it. It just looked a lot better, and I would love to see that version. If I got a classic version of it from the original Ghostbusters, I would probably want to complain, but if they were going to do one, I would prefer the Ecto 1A.
Yes.
Amen.
Any thoughts on Ghostbusters, Spada?
I'm not a huge Ghostbusters fan. I love the movies, but some of these figures, these re-release of the figures, that's great for fans. I'm just not that big of a fan.
Okay. So who are you going to be talking about?
Well, today I am going to be talking about Fans Projects Crossfire, Explorer, and Munitioner. These guys are impressive, to say the least. They're about the size of a Scout class figures. Now, Munitioner is a custom Swindle figure, let's face it, and Explorer is a custom Blastoff figure. Now, both of these guys go together with either the ROTF Bruticus Maximus or any other Bruticus Maximus figures that you can get your grummy little hands on. I have the original Japanese box set Burticus Maximus that I believe was I want to say a Toys R Us exclusive. Whatever. But I got a hold of these guys, and individually, the figures aren't bad. Munitioner is by far my favorite. I think he's a better figure than Explorer is, simply because my Munitioner figure seems to be a lot more solid than the Explorer figure. And that's just simply because of the transformation and the way the figure is designed. But merging them and all of their accessories together to form Colossus, in quotes, is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this figure is just a sight to behold.
Yeah, he is. I saw that first video you did, which unfortunately had to come down.
Oh, it's back up.
Oh.
It's back up.
Yeah, but with the music?
Nope, I had to use a different...
Right.
I had to redo it. I had to take that part out, unfortunately.
That's what I meant. I saw the first video you had up of it. And the combined mode is just amazing. I actually prefer Munitioner to Explorer because I like that better. As far as it being a swindle figure, I don't know. I never really cared for Blast Off.
I've never been a fan of Blast Off, but this figure is by far a great upgrade.
Yeah.
And there are...
in my face.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so...
Sorry. I was taught not to talk with my mouth full.
Well, then stop doing it, you dumbass.
There are 18 accessories total, and just to get him into the Colossus mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those accessories are vital. So this guy comes with new feet, of the backpack cannons, 2 missile pods that actually merge onto Vortex and Explorer, hands, 2 other components that fit over the Vortex to form a wrist, and a new head.
Oh, cool.
And then it comes with 4 different rifles that two of them in each set merge together to form larger rifles, which look awesome. And then what would be a 50 caliber rifle in giant robot form that can actually break down into another like laser rifle type thing.
Wow.
And it's just gorgeous.
I bet.
In vehicle modes, all the accessories combine with all the different vehicles into what I think are improved vehicle modes. The helicopter gets loaded, so it becomes a gunship. The onslaught unit gets the cannons and some other things to give him a more transport truck look. The tank, Brawl, gets 2 giant guns. And then, of course, Munitioner and Explorer just have their... Explorer doesn't have any weapons in vehicle mode, but Munitioner has a little grenade launcher on top. And it's just a great set. I'm not going to lie. The 2 guys together cost me a little over $100. That's not cheap.
That's my biggest problem with it.
But oh man, is it worth it. I couldn't tell you how happy I was when I got it home.
Now, how would you, in terms of other upgrades, how would you compare this to the other upgrades that Fans Project has already given us?
It's definitely better than the trailer.
Well, yeah.
It's far and away better than that trailer.
Yeah.
Wait, which trailer?
The G3
the
trailer or whatever it's
G3
called.
trailer, okay.
I think on clearance right now on BBTS.
which
That's
I'm sorry to say that really, I don't like the fact that I think Fans Project lost money on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
It's. I actually like these figures better than I did Warbot.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed with Warbot, I have to say. It wasn't
In terms
bad.
of because of his engineering.
Mine had stability problems. He wouldn't stand up.
Yeah, I think everybody he does. Is it because the
He had
the
no
feet
ankles.
basically have no heels?
Yeah.
Oh, no ankles. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had nothing that was holding him up on the backs of his feet.
Right.
There was
and
that,
they'll
and
fall back.
something just felt off. I know that sounds really weird, but every time I transformed him, I thought I was going to break him.
Really?
The plastic on the figure that I got, something felt wrong. It felt brittle. And that's one of the reasons why I had him displayed for a while, and then I put him back in his box and put him away.
Interesting.
Now, the Commander armor, on the other hand, oh, that stuff is good. That was mighty nifty. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
What was your take on the aerial team? The
Could have been done
Superion
better.
Adam?
Honestly, it could have been done better.
You know.
I'm not saying it was bad. And I really have to tip my hat off to them for engineering the pieces the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
But I really had some problems with it. Like, the feet especially. The feet on mine just would not stay together.
Oh, wow.
I mean, after my video review, the feet just started falling apart. And honestly, they didn't... It was a nice addition, but it didn't fix the chief problem that Superion has. And there are two chief
Superion?
problems. Yeah, that model, that mold of Superion.
Mm-hmm.
There are two major problems. One, the combiner pegs don't stay together. They can't fix that. I know they can't. But the chief problem is the section of the torso that is formed when you fold the nose cone down.
Right.
That does not stay pegged in at all.
Yeah,
and no matter
you sneeze
what
and it
pose...
comes undone.
Yep, it's so small and it's so loose, it just pops right off. Had they fixed that, had they put in something that fixed that, it would have been a much better figure, or a much better set for me.
Gotcha.
But, you know, $40, $50, that wasn't a bad deal. It really wasn't.
Yeah,
Now,
I like that price a whole lot more.
I am really, really, really looking forward to the Protector trailer.
Oh.
And the sidearm. I think the sidearm's just kind of cool. Little Target Master dude, $10.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Fans Project, they seem to try to do their best. I agree with you that the Warbot, while I like the figure, it bothers me that I have to have his legs twisted outward, where he looks like he's a penguin waddling, for him to actually be able to stand. I mean, that really does kind of bug me. The Superion set, I actually recently just sold that. I was, and a lot of people were like, oh my God, why'd you do that? And I'm not sure if it was you, Mike, or I was talking to someone else, but they were asking me, why'd you do that? I said, you know what, of all the Fans Project things that they've done and are planning on doing, when I would look at the Superion figure, I would not get a Superion feel. That thing did not remind me of G1 Superion at all.
I have the same reaction to it. I really am glad that they did what they did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they fixed that particular figure. I mean, they improved that particular, Energon Combiner or whatever version you had. they fixed that, well, as much as possible. But everything else just didn't say Superion to me. I could have looked at that and I would have said, oh, that's just a big giant combining robot. I wouldn't have said that's Superion. When I look at the Bruticus set, I say
That's
Bruticus. Yeah, that's how Bruticus should look. That's my instant feel when I look at him.
You know, I really think in the instruction booklet, and I have got to give them credit, every single, since the Superion, all the instruction booklets have been like the most high quality paper they could possibly get their hands on.
Oh,
I mean, these
would
instruction
say,
booklets are amazing. I know
Yeah.
that's silly, but on the very last page, Crossfire 1 was the Superion set. Crossfire 2 is the Bruticus set. Crossfire 3 is a question mark. I'm really curious if they're going to be doing after... they started off with just an add-on set.
Right.
Just, let's improve things. Then number 2 is, okay, well, we're going to replace 2 of the combined pieces. I wonder if they're going to be doing an entire combiner next.
Could be.
That'd be nice, and a lot of people have already been speculating, and the biggest name, I suppose one could say, that's being thrown out is the great and powerful Devastator.
Yep.
Well, there's that, and you've seen that weird picture of the deluxe-sized scavenger figure, right? I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know we talked about that on Nerd News.
Yeah.
Mike.
Oh yeah, that giant ass thing. Yes.
Yeah, that giant ass arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
It's impressive.
That really does.
It's really impressive.
I'll be honest though, I don't know how much longer Hasbro can ignore these guys.
I'm hoping long enough to where, which it really doesn't matter anymore, but long enough till after Protector gets released.
Yeah. They would really be shooting themselves in the foot because these guys are making add-ons to figures that you have to buy anyway.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember around the time, you know what, and I don't even know around the time when it was, but there was a panel. I want to say maybe it was BotCon 09. I could be wrong, but they were asked what they think about third-party companies making things of these nature.
I remember this.
And they said something along the lines of, they're like, as long as it doesn't infringe on our stuff, we'll be watching them. And as long as it doesn't go too far to infringe upon our intellectual properties, then they don't seem to care too much. They're fine with it.
But they also said that, if you people keep asking us about this crap, then we're going to have to take an interest in it and look into it. So Stop reminding us of this.
Exactly. Just forget about it. It's one of those things where it's kind of like a dirty little secret where they know about it, but they don't want to know about it because they know that it will infuriate their fan base.
Yep.
And they're walking that line. They are walking that line.
Don't tell the lawyers.
Right, exactly. Them people. But they're I mean, the city commander, I was like, okay, if I'm Hasbro, I can let that go. And then the other stuff, came out. Once it got to the point where they made the Springer, when they made Warbot Defender, then I would have been like, you know what? That's going a little bit too close.
Well, it's going a little bit too close because the helicopter mode is exactly almost like what Springer looked like. All you have to do is get a Autobot label from Repro Labels and put it right there on his chest.
which I'm sorry to say, that's exactly what I did.
Well, it's what everybody did.
Yeah, but you gotta do that. Well, that's because you don't like him and you put him in his box. You should turn around and sell that thing, Spada. Seriously. If it's just going to hang out, sell it. I'll bet you could probably get $300 for that thing.
I'm going to hold off for a year or two, and then I'm going to sell it.
Ooh, then you'll probably get $400 for it. That's smart.
Maybe. Well, you know what? I figure I'm probably going to be my folks are probably going to be moving in a maybe in the next 6 months. So I'm going to be going through some of my collection and selling some stuff that I just don't want, like the 19-inch tall Cheetor figure from Beast War or Beast Machines. That damn thing's bigger than my cats.
It boggles my mind why you would have that.
Dude, it was on sale at Walmart for $10 at one point. I'm like, fine.
They twisted your arm. I see.
Okay, so getting off of the third-party wagon, I guess I will go last here. And I want to apologize in advance, but none of the stuff that I have coming in has actually arrived yet. I have...
You can't talk about stuff that you don't have. That's not fair.
No, I'm not talking about stuff I don't have.
You don't have it yet?
I don't have it yet. I'm not going to... I'm going to tell people what I'm getting in, and then I'm going to talk about what this mustard thing that I have in my hand. It's a jar of mustard with some red on it. It's mustard and ketchup with pegs and, I don't know, oil. I'm getting in Sons of Cybertron animated set. I'll probably go shopping and try to find Megatron and Soundwave from Generations, War for Cybertron versions. Those Masters figures on I was going to say Matty Collector. Those Masters figures on BBTS are calling my name.
Mike.
Yes, exactly. So, again, I gotta apologize in advance because I will be talking about Transformers Armada Hotshot.
Why?
Because
I thought we gave you adequate enough warning that we were not going to want that to be discussed. Now we must find you, and we must eliminate you.
It's my show. I can do whatever the hell I want.
It's my party.
Oy. All right. Now, as someone...
No, wait a second. Before you say that, Spade, I have to preface this whole thing. Back in January, before my birthday's in February, so back in January... Another co-host of the show, Michael Wilson, who's a good friend of mine, and he helps co-host the Beast Unleashed podcast with Steve and I. I had been wanting an Optimal Optimus, and he said, "Oh, well, I have an extra one. It's not complete as far as having all the weapons and the missiles, but the actual figure is complete. His hands are there, his feet are there, and all that stuff. So it's not like it was a broken figure." I was like, "Oh, well, cool. Here's my address. If you want to send it to me, fine." And he sent me this giant box with a bunch of packing peanuts, and Optimal Optimus was in there. There was also a Star Wars Transformers crossover Millennium Falcon, this Armada Hotshot, and a bunch of other stuff that he had, I guess, laying around. He was cleaning out his closet or something, the toys that he just had doubles of or something. So I figure...
Or crap.
So I figure that, I might as well, because there really isn't anything, because I'm saving some stuff for other episodes. So I figure I might as well dig into this box and see what I can find. And yeah, holy crap. This guy sucks.
We talked for like a half an hour before you started recording this about the sheer shittiness of that figure. And in all this time that we have been talking, you couldn't have come with something else to talk about?
Well, I would have grabbed my Matty Collector SDCC 2010 Tokyo Mater toy, but I need a flip. What?
Yeah, I was going to say, you haven't figured out how to open that thing
yet,
I've
got it open. I just can't get it off the goddamn electronic box plate because I need a fucking Phillips screwdriver to get the damn screws out.
You don't have a Phillips screwdriver?
I used to. I
What
don't know
kind of
where it
man are you?
is. It's somewhere in this apartment. I can't find the damn thing.
Your butt.
So anyway, Armada Hotshot.
Wow. The sad thing is, I was actually thinking of reviewing that figure. As someone who's been going back and reviewing a bunch of Armada figures, I was thinking of
noticed
reviewing
that.
Didn't you
one.
already review him?
That one?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I could have sworn I saw a review of yours that was Armada Hotshot because you tore it to
I
shreds.
reviewed Universe Hotshot.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, and man.
I just looked it up. Universe Hotshot.
Oh boy, that I pulled that guy out of the box. I was like, oh, Hotshot. Maybe it's not as it's as bad as I remember.
It's
So,
I was so aggravated when they decided to release that again in the Universe line. Like, you couldn't have come up with something a little bit better. Of all the videos that I've done, one that seems to be very popular in creating a level of controversy is my Legend Class animated Starscream, in which I boiled it, burned it, beat it with a hammer, threw it in a garbage disposal, took it out of a garbage disposal, and then proceeded to throw it in the garbage. I really should get a Universe Hotshot and do another video like that to that figure.
so anyways.
I should make that figure eat a double down.
Oh,
There you
Jesus.
go.
Apparently they brought it back.
Oh yeah, I know.
For what? They're releasing it again?
I've been seeing
Yep.
commercials for it all night.
For what? How are they? What?
The KFC Double Down. I've been seeing ads for it.
Oh my God! I thought you were talking about Hotshot.
No.
Oh god.
I'm like, you found a way to re-release that thing again?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Well, don't you remember the Transformers Collectors Club was doing a
They did what? Dion or whatever it was.
Dion, and
Dion.
didn't that figure end up sucking?
Yes.
Oh yeah, everybody still hated it.
So
I mean, it's not a good figure. I mean,
Now, in the
no.
Universe figure, there was a major issue with the American release versus the Japanese release. The Japanese release had notches cut out just underneath where the license plate was, and that enabled you to actually pose the rear parts on his shoulders in such a way that they didn't pop off as soon as you moved the figure.
oh.
well, I gotta tell you, I watched about 2.5, maybe 3.5 episodes of Armada back in the day, and
Good for you.
I absolutely fucking hate that cartoon. And Hotshot is easily the ugliest toy in my entire collection.
I could probably,
This thing,
which is why I have never bought one. I don't know why people are compelled. Everybody and their mother hates that thing. Yet for some reason, people are compelled to still buy this. Oh, maybe they just don't like it. Maybe I'll like it when I get it. And then they're brought over to the dark side too, and they're convinced at that point that the toy is a piece of poop.
and
then
the
they're
bad
sitting
thing
there
about him is the bad thing about the Armada version of Hotshot, and I don't know about the Universe version, but most Transformers you have to push their head down or turn it around and then push it down into a slot that it fits into. Hotshot, no. You just have to put a night mask over his fucking face.
Yeah, that's all he needs.
Oh, God. And the Autobot logo on him sucks.
You know what I just noticed? I don't mean to interrupt you, but the munitioner
Yeah.
is now sold out on Big Bad Toy Store. They have it for pre-order again.
Oh. Well, at least it's for pre-order and not pre-order sold out, so that's good.
Well, yeah. I mean, but their first shipment is apparently because one of my arguments against that whole set was I said I was talking to a friend of mine and I said I think it's stupid that they packaged them separately. If they packaged them together, you could probably shave off a couple dollars off the price.
Yeah.
Because really, who's going to buy just one of them? Apparently, people are buying just one of them.
I think
Wow.
a lot of people are saying that they like the not the munitioner, but the Explorer figure better. But I've seen more evidence that people are buying the munitioner figure over the Explorer figure.
Well, let's face it. I mean, you guys have already said munitioner and Explorer. It's basically Swindle and Blastoff. I mean, that's who they are.
You know, every picture I look at, every review I see, I think I would like Blastoff a lot better if his nose cone wasn't so long.
There is a reason why that nose cone is so long. And that's because in the transformation, his fists actually are inside that nose cone, and they need to be there in such a way that if they were to shrink the nose cone any more, it would actually become very, very breakable.
That makes sense. But it just looks weird to me.
It does. I mean, compared to the rest of the figure, I mean, I'd say it's a good quarter of an inch worth of nose cone there.
I mean, that's, and when you look at a space shuttle, it's not that long.
No.
So I think when I look at this, I see I'm sorry, but it looks like a piece of turd.
The colorings aren't. That's one thing that really, really threw me off about Explorer is it's so dark. The colors are so dark, and I'll be honest. When I pulled them out of the box, I was like, "Oh God, it's shit brown."
Yeah, I mean,
but those are the original colors back from the 1980s.
Absolutely. I mean, I understand why they did it. I mean, it's a nice homage to the original Blastoff. I don't know. I look at that and I see Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. I don't see
Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. He loves me. I love you.
I tease my girlfriend because she's Jewish, and I say, "Is that your official Christmas song? Can I sing that to you every year when it's Hanukkah?"
She'll probably kick you in the nuts.
Oh, she hates me.
You know what the funny thing is now? I have to put the goddamn Hanukkah song in this episode.
Put Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. It'll make more sense for people. Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. Fantastic.
Now, one thing I really do like is the set that I have, like I said, was the set from Japan of Bruticus Maximus, and I just like the colors of the helicopter and the tank and the missile carrier better. I just like the colors better. It's more G1, and when I put these guys on it, it was a really nice contrast.
Yeah, I haven't quite decided. I at the end of this month, there is a local LA Transformer meetup. Bunch of people on TFW 2005 in the LA area are getting together, and we're going to be hanging out. The guy who owns ToyArena.com is going to be there. He's from the area, and he's gonna bring these, and I'll probably buy them then. And I don't have a Bruticus Maximus figure yet, so I'm watching. And that's what one thing I really liked about your review was that I could see a different version of the Bruticus Maximus figure and see how it looked, because I have to decide which one I'm going to get, because all of them are goddamn ridiculous in terms
really
of
expensive
price. It's so stupid how expensive they are. So I'm like, I got to pay $100 to buy these two figures, then I got to pay another $100. This again, I mean, it's just in my mind. If you don't already have the Bruticus Maximus figure, that's probably where I would say this set isn't worth it.
I hate to agree with you, but you're right. If you don't have a Bruticus Maximus already, you're looking at quite an investment. I mean, you're looking at easily $200, maybe even $300 worth of investment.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm gonna get it. There's no doubt. I mean, I love the way it looks. I mean, it pisses me off that it looks so good because it makes it so I can't pass this thing up. But
You can't pass anything up. You buy everything.
So do I.
It's
Well,
true. My
you,
girlfriend-
Spada, spent over $600 and something on Revenge of the Fallen toys.
Yeah, and I thoroughly regret it, but I've made all of that money back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like I said before about Hotshot, well, first of all, now that I'm really like looking at this damn thing, this is going to be the worst robot head face molding ever.
Oh God, it's awful.
It is so ugly,
Terrible.
and I would rather just keep him. I hate to say this. I really hate to say this because it's an insult to this person. I would really much rather keep him as a Geordie LaForge with the mask down than,
Oh my god.
than look at his damn face.
That's so mean.
Don't blame you. Do not blame you one bit. I'm sorry, LeVar Burton, but
Yeah, somewhere in this world he's gonna come across this ToyCast.
and he's going
And-
to thoroughly beat you.
He's gonna hate us. We have ruined, you ruined my chance because of all the next generation people, he seems like the most accessible and most likable and approachable of all of them, and we have just alienated that.
I
We're
seriously.
gonna have to settle for like Michael Dorn or something now.
Hey,
Way to
hey,
go.
hey! Leave Calabac alone.
Anyhow,
So I think
He's
So
going to
let
put
me
some
ask you,
Reading
Mike.
Rainbow up your ass.
you should. We're gonna have a lot of interesting music in this podcast this week.
yeah.
But so, in other words, Mike, can you recommend the Universe Hotshot?
I don't have Universe. I have Armada. I think it's Armada.
Whatever. It's the same thing.
No.
Whatever.
Can you recommend this glorious piece of shit, Mike?
No.
Yeah, there you go.
It's kind of like friggin' Warbot. If I ever got Warbot, I'd probably end up breaking it and burning it. Fucking
Very
Springer.
possible. It's very possible.
Yes. So I guess we're done, right?
Yeah. My cat is trying to suck milk out of the
Your
blanket.
balls.
No. A blanket that she likes laying on, and that's her cue for me to feed her, I think.
Okay. So, thank you for joining us here on ToyCast. There's several ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. You can comment on each episode post. And wow, that was a loud-ass microphone. Join the forums, PredaconEmpire.com/Nexus. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter. The short name there is TF ToyCast. Mine is TFG1Mike. Spada, what is your Twitter?
I am at Balt Matrix. That's BaltMatrix. Same thing for YouTube. You can find me there.
And Optibotimus?
Yeah, that's it. Good job. You stole my chance to try to promote myself by saying it before I could. Thank you. I am twitter.com/Optibotimus or Optibotimus on YouTube.
Christ. Become a fan on Facebook. Search Geekcast Radio Network. I want to talk about this for a second. We are currently running a Facebook fan page contest where if you help us get over 200 fans, we will do a random draw for a Stan Bush Dream the Dream CD and T-shirt. If we get over 300 fans, we will give a second set away. So that's how we're doing that. The winners will be randomly drawn through a number generator. So there's that. We hope you enjoyed this episode of ToyCast and wish you'll join us next time. For now, I am TFG1Mike with...
Spada, a.k.a. Balt Matrix.
I thought you were going to say that the other way around.
Sure.
And I am Paul, a.k.a. Optibotimus.
Thank you for listening. Until next time.
Jam.
Jam.
Jam. Is that like the Michael Jackson song, Jam?
No, oh God, you guys didn't get that, did
No.
you?
No.
B, what is the
Fail.
site? BWTF.com. Ben Yee's site.
Uh-huh.
He has this picture of Hotshot standing, giving the thumbs up, saying "Jam."
Nice.
Oh,
No idea why.
okay.
Crack 'em.
And
Crazy.
and that's the outro.